Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a in-depth bookshelf tour. I had someone comment asking me to do one, so I thought I would go ahead and do it for you guys. I definitely don't have any extravagant book setup like some people do. I live in a one-bedroom apartment with my husband, so I don't have a ton of extra space. I only have two bookshelves. One's in my bedroom and one is behind me. It's gonna be a little chaotic in some places, specifically on this bookshelf behind me because this is my bookshelf with all of my TBR books on it. So it is going to be a little hectic in some of these spots. So just keep that in mind, please be kind. I do have a couple books that I wanted to mention before getting into everything that I currently have lent out to people, so I don't currently have them, but I do own copies of them. My mom has my Emily Henry books, so Book Lovers, Beach Read, and People We Meet on Vacation are the three Emily Henry books that I currently own, and my mom has those. And then my sister is borrowing The Guest List and Crown of Midnight, which is the second Throne of Glass book. So I currently do not have those books with me because they are being lent out. So let's just get into it. We'll start in my bedroom with the books that I've already read. Start with this bookshelf, which is the bookshelf in my bedroom. So on this top shelf, I have, starting with the little trinkets that I have my Pygmy Puff on the very top that I got at Universal Studios. And then I also have Cedric, Tonks, and a Professor Trelawney Funko Pop, as well as two little plants from the like mini-verse things. So starting, I have all of my Taylor Jenkins Reid books that I have currently, which is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Carrie Soto is Back, Malibu Rising, and Daisy Jones and the Six. And then I also have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez and This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. And then we go into my Harry Potter. So up top I have Tales of Beetle the Bard, Quidditch Through the Ages, and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And then I have my box set of the original 7 Harry Potter books. Obviously the first one, like I said, is somewhere else because I'm currently in the middle of reading it. Well, I finished it already. So I have it with my books I've read this month for my wrap up. And then I also have Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. And then I have my Wicked and Son of the Witch, like little special edition book because Wicked is my favorite musical of all time. And then I also have two other books that I've read. A Legend of Golden Shadows. One of my husband's friends wrote this book. And then The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. Move down to the second shelf now. So this shelf is majority of my SJM. I have all of my SJM stuff on this shelf, but starting with trinkets again, I have a little cactus that my sister-in-law crocheted me. I have a wooden flute that used to be my grandmother's, but when she passed away I took it because I was the only one in my family on my dad's side that knows how to play the flute, so it is mine. And then I have a little pumpkin. This is only here for the fall, it's not on here at all times. And then I have my little Scarlet Witch. She's my favorite Marvel character. So I've got her up here too. And then for books, I have all of my ACOTAR and Throne of Glass books up here. So I have a special edition of ACOTAR over on this side. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Have a special edition of ACOTAR over on this side, and then all of the ACOTAR books as well as the original covers of ACOTAR and Throne of Glass both just sit up here as well. And then I have my special edition of Throne of Glass, and then the entire Throne of Glass series. I am missing Crown of Midnight because my sister is currently borrowing that book to read. That was everything on that second shelf. And then the third shelf, the only little trinket thing I have on this shelf is my little Lego centerpiece. And then I just set that in front. And then all of the books that I have on this shelf, I have my 2 Geneva Rose books, One of Us is Dead and The Perfect Marriage. And then I have Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves. And then this is the one book on this whole shelf that I have not read because I wanted to keep all of my Sarah J Maas books together. And I know that I'm going to want them on the shelf when I'm done reading them. So I already have them on here. I'm currently reading the first one, so that's why it is not here, but it will go right here. But then I have House of Sky and Breath, the second one. And then I don't own the third one yet. I'm waiting for it to be out on paperback. Then I have my little box set of the Lord of the Rings books. So I have The Hobbit, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. These are like little mini pocketbook sets, but they're like leather bound. They're really pretty. And then I have my Fourth Wing and Iron Flame copies. So excited for the next one, but I have those here. And then I have Powerless, Reckless, and Powerful by Lauren Roberts. And then I have the first 3 Percy Jackson books. I am trying to recollect these because I got rid of them a long time ago, thinking I would never want to reread them. Now, lo and behold, I want to reread them. So I've been trying to find them at thrift stores, and I only have the first 3. So that is everything on that shelf. And then we'll move down to the last shelf on this bookshelf. So this bottom shelf, for trinkets, I just have a couple little small stuffed animals. I have a little Winnie the Pooh, a little Captain America, and then this little sea turtle. And then I have all of my Hunger Games books. So Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, Songbird, A Ballad in Snakes. And then I do have the next one pre-ordered. So when that one comes out, it will also be down there. And then I have the Divergent books that I do have. I only have Divergent, Insurgent, and then 4. So I need to get the third one still. And then I also need to get Divergent in hardcover because I like them all to match. And it kind of bothers me that Divergent is paperback and the rest of the series is hardcover. And then I have Light Lark. I haven't read Nightbang yet, which is why it is not with Light Lark. And then I have Clockwork Angel. I've read that whole trilogy, but I am finding them from Goodwill or other thrift stores or half-price books, something like that. So I currently do not have the other 2 in that trilogy, as well as these are the 4 Mortal Instrument books that I have. City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, and City of Fallen Angels. I don't have the last 2 yet, but eventually I will have all of them. I'm just slowly collecting them. And then I have Aragon because the rest of that series is on my TBR bookshelves because I have not read them yet. So now moving on to this bookshelf that is bigger than the other one and is out by my kitchen table. So the top 2 shelves of this bookshelf are books that I've already read. And then the bottom 3 are all of my TBR books. So we'll start with little trinkets because I guess that's what we start with all of them. I have this little pumpkin that is just a little decoration for the fall. It doesn't stay on there at all times. I have a couple little turtles because turtles are my favorite. So I just have a couple from different places. Another little turtle over here, and this one, and then a candle that I painted, as well as this little dog that my sister made me. That is our childhood dog that passed away. And then for books, I have The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, a like special cloth bound edition of it just out in front. So I'll move that down for now so that you can see the rest of the books. But starting over here, you can't really see it too well. I have Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, Firekeeper's Daughter, and then I have Remarkably Bright Creatures, I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. That was such a great memoir. Words in Deep Blue, Fangirl, Eleanor and Park, All the Bright Places, The Midnight Library, They Both Die at the End, and The First to Die at the End, and then all of my John Green books, so Turtles All the Way Down, The Fault in Our Stars, Paper Towns, Looking for Alaska, and An Abundance of Catherines. And then I have Anna Kendrick's memoir, biography, Scrappy Little Nobody, Jojo Moyer's Me Before You, Marley and Me, The Last Song, and then just two little small books. This one my mom got me called Dear Daughter for my wedding, and then I have Love You Forever, little like children's book. So that is everything on this top bookshelf. So on this second shelf, little trinkets. I have another little pumpkin, and then I have this little Groot Lego that I made. And then some more little turtle guys, and then this little rubber ducky my nephew got me. And then as well as our Alexa. Moving on to the other books that I have read, we'll start with Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, The Proposal, The Ones We Burn, A Stolen Life. That one was a really hard memoir to read. One Italian Summer, When the Apricots Bloom, The Librarian of Auschwitz, Love in Other Words, Where the Crawdads Sing, The Song of Achilles, The Great Gatsby, Heaven is for Real, Winnie the Pooh, and then like this little prayer book. And then I have The Diary of Anne Frank and A Little Princess. And then these are all of my poetry books that I have. So I have Light Filters In, My Greenhouse, Pillow Thoughts 2, Homebody, Milk and Honey, and The Sun and Her Flowers. And then these are the books that I've read this month so far. So I have the Encyclopedia, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, The First Harry Potter, Lovely War, An Assistant to the Villain. Those are all of the physical books that I own that I've read so far. And that is everything on that second shelf, so we'll move down to the third shelf. Now we're moving into all of my TBR books. These are books that I have not read yet. So starting with little trinkets, I have this little BJ's bowl that I got from a drink that I had from there. It's like a little bathtub. And I just have all of my bookmarks in here, as well as my book embosser. This is really cool. So it indents the page and it says, this book belongs to Lexi Hendrickson, with like a book and flowers coming out of it. Just keep that in here with all of my bookmarks as well. And then I have this little dish that has these little page holder things. It makes it easier to hold a big book. Another little turtle thing, and then a little Wanda Scarlet Witch Lego. Luna, stop barking. And then on this side I have another little turtle I got from Hawaii. A little sticker that says, in my bookworm era. And then I have a little mini Hagrid Funko Pop that I got at the Funko Pop store in California. But it's just a little tiny Hagrid. And then I have my 70s pregnant Wanda over there. And then for books, so for the time being, I just have books stacked up. Like you can see up there with A Man Called Ove and Apprentice to the Villain. They're just kind of stacked on top, and you'll notice it a lot more with the bottom two shelves as well. But let me move this, guys, so we can see easier. What is this book called? American Gypsy. It is another memoir, autobiography type book. Then I have The Shoemaker's Wife, Whistling Past the Graveyard, Circe, When the Moon Hatched, and then the second and third book in the Aragon series, Eldest, and Brinsinger. I still don't have the 4th one, so I need to get that still. And then I have Dune, and then Fountains of Silence, The Cuckoo's Child, Legends and Lattes, The House on the Cerulean Sea, Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Salt to the Sea, The Girl on the Train, Beneath the Lion's Gaze, The Boston Girl, State of Wonder, Atomic City Girls, The Selection, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and then The Finest Hours. This one is very full and hectic, so sorry, but for little trinkets, I've got 2 little candles that I painted, a little turtle, and then a little tiny dinosaur that my nephew gave me. And then I have this mason jar and this little mug that was my grandpa's that's filled with, this is filled with Lego people from Lego sets, and then this is just like little extra pieces from Lego sets that I've done. And this is my stack of library books. I always like to keep my library books together so that way I know where they are at all times, since I have to return them eventually. So for the library books that I currently have, I have Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and then a bunch of graphic novels. So I have this one called Archival Quality, and then I have the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th volume of Lore Olympus. I read the first one this month, but I had to return it already because someone had a hold on it, so that's why it wasn't up with the other books that I've read this month. But we'll move this out of the way so we can see the rest of them. So starting with the books on top, I have over here, I have Renegades, and then Caraval Legendary and Finale. The Games Gods Play. This was an early birthday present to myself because it is beautiful. And then I also have Lucky, which is another memoir, biography type book. Throne of the Fallen and The Spell Shop. And then for the rest of the books on the shelf, I have Divine Rivals, Ruthless Vows, The Wren and the Holly Library, Warrior Girl Unearthed, which is the 2nd book to Firekeeper's Daughter, 5 Broken Blades, Nightbane, House of Sea and Salt, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants books. I have the first one, the 2nd Summer of the Sisterhood, and then Girls in Pants, the 3rd Summer. And then I have the Shadow and Bone trilogy, Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. And then I have the Game of Thrones series. Have not read these yet, but I have all of them. So trinket wise on this one, I have a Lego Harry Potter Quidditch set and like a miniature Harry Potter Quidditch set, as well as my TBR jar. I have 2 different jars, one with the prompts that I still need to pick, and then one with the prompts that I've already picked. I'm going to tilt you up a little bit higher now that you've seen the trinket so that you can see the books. There we go. Okay, so over here I have I Know This Much Is True, The Weight of Silence, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, The Shadow of the Wind, and then these 2 books are my husband's books, literally the only books that he owns. He has an Avatar graphic novel and then a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle graphic novel. So those are his. And then over here I've got this little Death Splits a Hair novel. I haven't read it yet, but I'm a hairstylist, so I thought it was fun. Then I have Beachside Beginnings by Sheila Roberts, Saving CC Honeycott, The Women Who Smashed Codes, The Bookshop of Second Chances, and The Known World. Those are all the books that I have along the top. And then let me move my little Legos out of the way so we can see the other books easier. These 2. So for the rest of the books on this shelf, I have The Zone of Interest, Missing Presumed, Breathless, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, The Book of Longing. Oh my gosh, I can't read this. I can't read it from the spine. I Let You Go, Once Upon a River, Keep Me Posted, The Trilogy of Two, In a Garden Burning Gold, The Last House in Paris, or The Last Hours in Paris, sorry, The Last Romantics, Atomic Habits, Each of Us a Desert, Mosquito Land, Traitor, We Were Liars, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, and then Speak. And that is everything that is on this bookshelf. Real quick before I end the video, I just wanted to mention a couple other books. 2 of them I just bought today at Goodwill, and then 2 of them my mom is letting me borrow. So I'll have them with me on my bookshelves for the time being until I read them, which who knows when that's going to be. But she gave them to me after I filmed the bookshelf tour, so I just thought I would mention them. The first one is Ellen Hildebrand's Summer of '69. This is going to be my first Ellen Hildebrand book, but my mom thinks I'll really like it because I love the hippie 70s, 60s vibe, so I'm excited to pick this one up. I might save it until next summer, so it's probably going to be a while before I read this book, but I still wanted to mention it. And then one that I'm definitely adding to my fall TBR is Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. I keep seeing a bunch of people talk about this author and this book specifically, so I definitely want to give it a go. And my mom had it, so she's letting me borrow it. Wanted to talk about that. And then the 2 books that I bought today that will be adding to my bookshelf. The first one is The First Heartstopper. I really enjoy this graphic novel series. It's actually the graphic novel, well, one of the graphic novels that got me into graphic novels. I'm trying to get the Goodwill. Oh no, that didn't work out. But it's one of the graphic novels that got me into graphic novels. So I saw it there and knew that I had to get it. And then the last book that I wanted to mention before ending this video, I also got at Goodwill today. It is called Drowning: The Rescue of Flight 1421. It is like a thriller, suspenseful type book. I have seen this on my Goodreads, and I think I had like entered one of the Goodreads giveaways. Of course, I didn't win, because when do you ever win a Goodreads giveaway? I actually have one Goodreads giveaway, and it was for a Kindle book, so not a physical book. But I saw this there, and I have it on my want to read on my Goodreads, and then I opened it up and saw that it is, opened it up and saw that it's signed. So of course I had to get it because, oh, look at that. So I got this one. I'm excited to add this to my TBR and hopefully get around to it eventually. But that is everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed getting an in-depth tour of my bookshelves and all the books that I have on them. If you have any recommendations for books that I should add to my bookshelves, comment them in the comments below. See you guys later.